It's a beautiful day in Ohio, and it's back-to-back time. 22 YZ250F, 22.5 KTM 250 Factory Edition, 22 CRF250R. Let's start with the Yamaha since it's kind of the oldest one here. So I'm at Grear MX today. It's 81 degrees. Track is rough and gnarly. And I'm just going to ride part of it and talk about each of these bikes. I've been jumping back and forth between them all day here. Ooh. And the thing I like about back-to-back rides is you can really feel the differences. Now the Yamaha, if you look on my channel, I got a lot of videos on this bike. It's my favorite suspension, and I also like the engine a lot because it's got that low to mid and partial throttle response. And the KYB stuff, even on the little tiny hard pack chop, just absorbs everything so well. But I have the hard hitting map in, I'm running now. I also run the Keefer map, which I think is a good map too. Man, the other thing the Yamahas are real good at is stability. They don't turn quite as good, and like today I don't feel as nice of front end traction on the Yamaha, but the bike works really good. And you can tune the maps, which is nice. Alright, now vet guy favorite, low to mid, plush suspension. It's a little heavy, a little wide, doesn't corner quite as nice. Oh, Yoshimura factory full titanium exhaust. Yeah, that gives this bike some bark. Now, a couple things immediately stand out on the Honda. Number one, it is light, feels light, and you feel every bump on the track. It's a very responsive, reactive chassis. Man, does it corner. It just feels so light up front. Just kind of the way the handlebars are. I think that Yosh gives it a little more pull everywhere. It's like the stock power, but just stronger. A little bit more meat to that mid-range, which I like. But the Honda, this nice reactive chassis, which is firm and makes it that reactive and fun to ride, also lets you feel every bump. It is firm. Now this suspension on this bike was done by TBT in Ohio, but I think Davey's gonna send it back and do another iteration of it. So a little more planted feel. It is dancing around on the little chop today. Now, let's see how the KTM feels. I love 250Fs now. I'm a 350 guy, but I've been having so much fun with these 250Fs, and they're so well developed. Ooh. 1.5 hours. I think they have the suspension stock on this bike. Oh. Yeah, KTM really dialed up their response. on this bike for 22.5, this factory edition. I like the way it feels. Well, first 50-foot impression is compliance. Almost feels like the tires are just glued to the ground, even on the hard, slippery chop. And this is a KTM, so you gotta turn that throttle, but it's got the response. Yeah, definitely the most comfortable in this little choppy stuff. Boy, that engine feels good. Yamaha used to be the hands down strongest, but I don't think anymore. This KTM feels good. I like the tire contact patch feel on this bike. They all have MX 33s, which is not my favorite tire, but it works okay on this bike. Of course, this has Brembo brakes, all the good stuff. It is, I don't know, for today's ride, on today's conditions, kind of choppy, this KTM is just right. It's got like the best balance of bump compliance, cornering. It's got great ergos. I love these pegs, gets you right in there. It's relatively quiet for a 250F. Bump compliance, easy to ride, great ergos, fantastic brakes. It feels good today. It wins today. Honda, super agile, light feeling. Surprisingly, the KTM I think might be 8 pounds heavier, but it does not feel heavier. Very little engine braking, torquey. 2 big thumbs up for the titanium Yoke-Swerve Shimura exhaust. I needed more suspension work on that bike. YZ, bone stock. Other than the Keefer map and the hard-hitting map, you can ride these. This suspension works really good for a wide range of guys. It's got the kind of the wider, funky ergos, a little tighter seat to peg, but honestly, you adapt to it pretty quick. This one's a little louder too. Got noise from the front and the back. I'll tell you, after today, I give the edge to the KTM for the compliance. It's kind of the best combination of all of them, but all 3 great bikes. 2 big thumbs up.